What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. You have the one and only reppin' Philly right there. Dead Prez picks the GOAT, and you have myself, AC. Guys, welcome back to Two in the Zone. Thank you for jumping on. We do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This week, we decided to do Tuesday, so there's a lot more games on tonight. I think you're going to enjoy today's show. Before we get into it, please give our sponsor a quick follow right there on the screen at 7 Stack Sports. Give them a follow. I know they just hit 9,000 followers. Let's get them to 10,000 really fast here. They are the best book on Twitter. Is not even a discussion. Minus 105 reduced juice lines. Same day payouts when you're using cryptocurrency. Amazing promos, amazing odd boosts. And Dead and I, we're going to start pushing this a little more. If you sign up with them and you let us know, we're going to give you free VIP. Simple as that. Anything else, Dad, before we move on?
No, you hit most of it. I think we got a big odds boost tonight, likely on the Celtics game versus my Sixers. So we'll get into that as well. But just keep an eye out for a couple odds boosts from 7 Stacks all week long.
Beautiful. All right, guys. We are live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch. And we're live on YouTube. We do get a lot of comments in every day. We got one already from Josh. Well, how he says, "What's up, fellas?" So, what's up? Thanks, Josh, for jumping on. All right, last night's games. I only had one bet in the NBA. Dead. I went 0-1. I was on those Pistons, man. The Pistons were covering all game, and then somehow they blew it in the end. They lost 103-94 against the Wizards. Did you have any action on any of the games last night?
Yeah, so I had a 2-1 initial night. So I had the Bulls last night, which came through, and the Pelicans. Pelicans actually blew them out. And then the initial loss there was on the Kings money line, which was one of the free plays. So that was unfortunate. That game kind of got out of control. Then I tried to hop on those Warriors live, and that did not work out. So ultimately ended up 2-2, but made some money with the way units were constructed. So decent NBA night, but I think we got a better NBA night ahead tonight.
Okay, not bad. We have a comment here from Wusha. He said, never bet on Detroit sports. I mean, it's true. I'll tell you this, though. Detroit Lions this past season, awful season, but they had a winning against the spread record. If you can find angles in any bad team, I mean, I think that's the way to go in general. So a couple other games last night. The Knicks, we love this. Dead Prez, the Knicks lost in overtime at home against the Thunder without Lou Dort, without Shai Gilgeous. The Thunder came into the Madison Square Garden and won 127-123. Any surprise here, or you kind of knew the Knicks were going to lose?
Nah, man. I mean, that's the Knicks, right? And as a Knicks non-make playoffs better, I love this, but that's just flat out embarrassing, right? To lose to Oklahoma City. I love seeing my boy Josh Giddey, though. Another triple double this night. I mean, this dude is just a beast. And, I was a big Australian basketball fan now for a whole year because I love betting on it. And it's on at like 3 a.m. when there's nothing else on. Last year, a lot of people were really skeptical of Giddey's game because he wasn't, all that impressive statistically in the NBL. But, I mean, he's been unbelievable. But if you're the Knicks, man, I mean, you're just so lost at this point in the season. They did nothing at the deadline. They really can't do anything at the deadline, the way their money's tied up. Technically, they'll still have life, right, to make a play-in spot. But, I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, the pain continues, unfortunately.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to this next game. I want to give this guy flowers. DeMar DeRozan, 45, 38, 36, 35, 38. And last night he scored 40 points, grabbed 3 rebounds, dished 7 assists against the Spurs. The Bulls won. You were on Chicago, 120-109. DeMar DeRozan right now is the first Chicago Bulls since Michael Jordan to score over 35 points in 6 straight games. He will be the first player in NBA history if he does over 35 points and over 50% shooting in 7 straight games. Right now, he's tied with Wilt Chamberlain. If you're tied with Wilt for anything, that is super impressive. DeMar DeRozan, is he outside of Embiid? Is DeMar the MVP? What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's got to be in the discussion, right? I mean, the dude's been on a tear. Last night was a little DeMar revenge game, but anytime you're put in the same categories as Wilt and Jordan, obviously, you're doing something right. They've been a tough read because against like top tier NBA teams, they've struggled. I think they're like 0-8 against the top 4 teams. this was like a week or two ago. Obviously, it gets shuffled, but they're 0-3 against my Sixers. Like they haven't played great against the
Oh,
best.
you gotta put that in there, huh? You
Yeah,
gotta put that in
I
the
got to
3-0
slip it in.
Philly.
Hey,
Okay.
now they're a top tier team. So I still question. I mean, me and you are both on their over on wins and to make the playoffs. So we're loving this success
Yeah,
that
they look
Chicago's
good.
having. But I was having this discussion yesterday. I still don't put them. I think the East is really a 4-team race, and I know a lot of people won't agree with that because they have the Bulls in there. But I think it comes down to Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Philly, and Miami. I don't think Chicago can compete for a title, although I love what they've been able to do so far this season.
Shocking, shocking. You didn't put Orlando, New York, or Cleveland in there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to this one. Big upset here. Portland on the road got an easy win over the Bucks without Giannis, 122-107. Any comments or thoughts on this game, Dad?
I mean, Anthony Simmons is he's been going crazy, right? Since Dame obviously out, moved on from CJ, moved on from Powell. So it's giving him. I kind of compare it a little bit to a Tyrese Maxey situation here in Philly.
Mm.
Once Ben went down, you get to see these young talents take over, and he's been unbelievable. But I think the Blazers are trying to lose. Like I don't want to say they're tanking, and they keep winning. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing because, like, technically they're still in a spot that they could compete for, like, a play-in game. But I don't know if anyone in Portland wants that. I think
Yeah,
an
they don't want that.
ideal situation in Portland is you start losing and get yourself into the lottery.
But who knows? That organization is in shambles. So maybe they are trying to tank, but then they win anyways. Who knows? All right, last game here we're gonna get into is the nightcap. The Clippers at home, they took care of business against the Warriors. 119-104. 119 against one of the best, if not best, defense in the NBA is really impressive. Going through the stat line here. A lot of people ate for the Clippers. Terrence Mann 25, Reggie Jackson 19, Zubac 18. A couple other guys with double digits: Marcus Morris, Batum, Covington. That's a full team effort there. Should the Warriors be a little bit worried they're dead because they haven't played as well. They almost lost right to the Lakers. They lost to the Knicks before that. They got blown out by the Jazz before that. Would you say it's a trouble time for the Warriors, or they'll fix it?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a troubling time. I mean, Steph Curry, I think at a point this season, people were like, he's going to run away with MVP. He actually hasn't had a very good season, which is odd to say. I mean, they should have won that game last night. Like they were 6.5-point favorite. The Clippers, obviously they're without George and Leonard, but they also didn't have Powell, right? They didn't have Kennard in that game. They were very depleted in this game, and the Clippers blew them out. So if I'm the Warriors right now, I'm not concerned long term. I still think they're one of the best teams in the NBA. They'll have a legitimate chance, obviously, to make the title, or to make the championship. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. Definitely trending down though compared to that start.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Dad is saying. So Steph Curry, if you throw away the 2019-2020 season, which ended in an injury for him, this is the lowest field goal percentage he's ever shot in his career, 42.5%. This is the lowest 3-point percentage he's ever shot in his career, 38.1%. He's averaging 26, 5 and 6. I mean, pretty good numbers there, but not something where you would expect from a Steph Curry in terms of efficiency wise. I do want to give flowers to some of the underdogs last night. The Clippers won outright. Pelicans, Blazers, Nets, and Thunder. So the dogs are slowly barking again in the NBA. I'm going to give one shout out again to 7 Stack Sports, and then Dad will get into tonight's slate. Everybody give 7 Stacks a quick follow right there on the screen. 7 Stack Sports, best Twitter book around, not even close. Again, this is a special offer between myself and Dad. If you sign up with 7 Stacks today, tomorrow, anytime, please DM us and we will give you the free VIP card that day. That's very, very easy. Just sign up with them, deposit a little bit of money, and you'll get a free VIP card. So let us know. All right, Dad, let's get into tonight's slate.
All right, I'm going to tweet it out real quick, AC. Hype everyone up. Let's get into it, but let's start with my Sixers, AC, against the Celtics. Prime time game here, TNT, and a lot's going on right now because Boston, they're red hot. at the moment. Philly does not have James Harden tonight, unfortunately. Watched his presser today, AC. It was great. Super
He
good
got you
energy.
hyped. He got
Shout
you
out.
hyped.
Yep, he had me all hyped up, man. So I want to see him go tonight, but look, I'd rather him be healthy too. We know the hamstring might be lingering a little bit, so he'll be back after the All-Star break. But let's be honest here. Boston is red hot at the moment.
Yeah.
They've been able to climb, well up the standings compared to where they were. This was a team, remember, a few weeks back, they were in that play-in spot. Since then, 8 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
But did they crash and burn the night here in the city of brotherly love? They're only a 2-point favorite. And again, no Harden. Like, this isn't a full Philly team.
Yeah, this is a layoff for me. I'm gonna enjoy it as a basketball fan. I would say this: if you've been riding the Boston train though as a better the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, I would continue to ride it tonight. I think it is a Boston spot. I know you don't like that, Dead, but I would rather when it comes to two teams that are upper echelon, I would ride with the hotter team right now. Boston's the hotter team, but as a fan, I'm gonna lay off. As far as the total is concerned, opened up at 210. It stayed at 210 pretty consistent, pretty firmly there with most of the bets on the over. I lean the under. If I had to bet, it would be Boston and the under. But for me, officially, I'll lay off.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my thoughts in this one would be pretty simple in the aspect of, the Celtics are obviously the hottest team in the NBA right now. Do you want to continue to ride them here? I think based off the line, it's tough. Like Philly just, beat up on Cleveland, who's a good team in Philly, obviously without Harden. I'm going to actually watch this one for fun too. I don't have a bet in this game. I obviously will pull for my 76ers, but I think this is a tough one.
You know what Harden's doing, right?
What's that? Just getting prepped to
I think he's just trying to lose his last 5-10 pounds, and then once he puts on his Sixers jersey, it's going to look amazing.
I don't know. He can look whatever he wants. I don't care. I'm just happy Ben's out of town, and we got.
You guys look good, man. You guys look scary.
But all right, let's move it along here. Your Mavericks and the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat AC are no longer the best team in the East because my Sixers now are. But I got them number 2 in the East still. They are a 4-point favorite tonight in this game. Looking at the injury report, I see Butler's day-to-day, and then Hero and Markieff Morris, Caleb Martin are out for your Mavericks. Pretty limited injury report. We see Burke day-to-day, Bullock day-to-day, Marquise Chris out, and Theo Pinson out. So what's your thoughts on this one tonight? The Heat, a 4-point favorite. Mavericks, obviously, they shuffled it up a little bit. The KP deal was surprising to me, for sure. What do you think about this game tonight? Do you think it's a Heat play?
If you're looking at just the line, if you're reading the line, this is a Miami screamer. But I wouldn't be that confident if I was backing Miami tonight. Without Tyler Hero, that's a lot of offensive punch that you're missing off the bench. Jimmy Butler's day-to-day. You ask yourself, with all those issues and injury concerns, why are they still 4-point favorites? And the Mavs are getting Dinwiddie and Bertans in the lineup tonight. So it's a Miami read. Again, I would not be confident in that if I was betting it. Luka is on a tear right now, so I would not be fading that man. It's kind of like a buy low spot for Dallas. I think they lost the Clippers their last time out as a 6 or 7-point favorite. So people are low on them. But before that, the Mavs had won, I think, 5 out of 6 games. So it's not far-fetched that Dallas can go in and upset Miami here, even though the read, I fully admit, the read right now does say Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm liking Miami there as well. Cavs and Hawks, this is an interesting one tonight. Because the Hawks are a 1-point favorite here at home. They're coming off a loss to the Bucks. We know John Collins' status does not look too promising. He'll be out as well. But just a 1-point favorite here. Do you think this is a Cavs play based off this line?
This one's tough, man. I actually think it's a Hawks play. So Hawks 1-point favorite at home. They haven't been playing well. They've lost 4 out of 5 games now. Cavs, we all know, they just continue to win, continue to cover. They did get beat up by the Sixers the last time out, but the Cavs are, I think, 4-1, maybe 5-1 in the last 6 against the spread. I think it's a Hawks play. I don't think they should be favored right now against a team like the Cavs. So the fact that, they are. I think the books expect the Hawks to come out and kind of surprise Cleveland. This could be a really strong play. It might be an official VIP play for me. I think it's going to be Hawks.
Yeah, it's tough on me because I mean, without Collins, right? Maybe the line makes a little more sense. I'm not high on this Cavs team. I mean, I've even said I don't think they'll make the. I think they'll end up in a play-in game, which means they'd have to drop a decent amount. Right now, they're third in the East, but I just don't really buy into this team as a serious threat, at least at the moment. Mm-hmm. I think they're a fun team to root for. Like, it's a feel-good story, but I would love to play the Cavs in the playoffs if I'm any of these teams. So I'm much more threatened by Boston, by Toronto, even by Atlanta come playoffs than
not by the Nets at all.
No, I'm not trying. The Nets don't scare me at all. But I'm gonna ride. In my opinion, I do would lean the Hawks. The line to me is a little tough to read, so it might be a layoff there. Pacers and Bucks.
Oh my God, Pacers, man.
They've just had a tough, 20 games under 500. They've kind of blown this team up, right? You go into the year with LeVert, Sabonis, Brogdon. Only Brogdon still there, and we don't know what'll happen there. But been a pretty crazy year for Indiana. Although they were able to land, Tyrese Halliburton, who you and I are in alignment that we think is a very good young player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Buddy Hield does for you. Maybe he can kind of find that shooting.
I don't think Buddy Hield's going to stay there long term. That's for sure. I
don't know. I mean, I had his over the game on Sunday, and he was like
1 for 11 or something. Yeah.
9. Yeah, it was pretty rough. But what do you think about this one, Sam? Do you think it's a Bucks blowout here? They are 14-point favorite.
Yeah, so this does look like a bounce back spot for the Bucks against a really bad Pacers team. You didn't mention him, but Chris Duarte is out tonight. I like the 3-guard lineup when it's Halliburton, Duarte, and Hield, but without Duarte, they just it's just not enough offense, just not enough shooting. So I think it's a Bucks bounce back spot. It might be very easy, right? The Bucks have lost 2 straight. They're getting back Giannis, the MVP tonight. They're back home playing against a bad team. If they don't, blow out the Pacers by 20, 25 points here, I'd be really shocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see this being a blowout spot tonight for sure. But it's probably another one I'd stay away from in this one. They are the heaviest favorite of the night. All right, 3 to go. Shout out again, AC, to our sponsor, 7 Stack Sports. Everybody who's watching, please give them a follow on Twitter. Show them some love. It's at 7 Stack Sports right there on the screen. So make sure you guys get involved. Again, we don't know yet, but we think we have a big odds boost on the Celtics and Sixers tonight. So keep an eye out for that as well. The Hornets here and the T-Wolves will play. This one in Minnesota, 6.5. You think that's too many points here for Minnesota at home?
Man, that's tough. Minnesota has been playing a lot better. The Hornets have been kind of sliding recently. I backed Hornets maybe 2 or 3 games ago. They were really disappointing. I think they've lost 4 out of the last 5. They're now down to 29-29, 500 for the season. Minnesota, a little trending upwards. They're 30-27 on the season. They have won 5 straight games at home. This is a home game against the Charlotte team that I feel like they've kind of lost their identity. The beginning of the season, Charlotte was like amazing offensively. They didn't care if the other team scored on you. They were just going to outscore you. There's just been something wrong with their offense. The total here, look at the total, that is 244. It's like the highest I've seen in a while. But I love Timberwolves overs. I love Hornets overs. This most likely is an overplay for me as well. But I think as of right now, 3 p.m. right now on the East Coast, I'm going to lay off.
That's a high number. I mean, yeah.
It just takes like one bad 6-minute stretch and your over's dead. Yeah.
Might have to be an under for me. Looking at the game, pregame here, I like the Hornets with the points. I know they've struggled and, they're down to being a 500 team. I just think 7's a lot because of kind of what you mentioned. Like, Minnesota, I don't think is good enough defensively to lay 7 against a team like the Hornets. Like, I don't think there's a major talent difference here. I think it's decent. If this turns into a track meet and there's a lot of points on both sides, 7's a tough number to get to. So with teams like this who don't play great defensively, I have some issues trusting them.
I would say this, like, I think people are undervaluing the loss of Gordon Hayward. I think they've been, Gordon Hayward is not going to live up to that contract. He's getting paid like 30 something mil a year,
Yeah.
kind of like Tobias Harris.
Right.
But Gordon Hayward means a lot to that team, provides a lot of veteran leadership, and is a good playmaker. I think it's a big loss, and I think that's why they've kind of slid the last couple of weeks.
I'm with you there. All right, the Grizzlies and Pelicans tonight. I was on the Pels last night, getting 4 points against the Raptors.
Great call, man. Great call.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of the Raptors last night. But now I'm fading them tonight here.
Yes.
On the flip side and back to back.
We are in alignment.
Yeah, I like the Grizzlies here with the 4.5 points in this spot. Luckily, like I said, last night was a great spot to take the Pels. But now they're on a back-to-back here tonight. And, I mean, Memphis, we know they've been flying high all season long. They are in the midst of a little bit of a road trip here. So it's concluding a 3-game road trip, but they haven't played since Saturday. So they got Sunday off, Monday off now today. So they're well-rested. Pelicans on a back-to-back. I love the Grizz tonight.
Yeah, I'm also on the Grizz right now. John Morant is considered questionable, but I think he's going to play. So as long as Morant, Bane, and Jaren Jackson play, I think they're going to blow out the Pelicans. Pelicans did get better at the deadline, right? Everybody knows they traded for CJ McCollum. So they do have a little more scoring punch, but second night of a back-to-back, 3-day rest advantage for Memphis, who want to end this road trip on a winning note. So give me the Grizzlies tonight. Me and Dad are in alignment there. That's going to be our free pick today. We'll talk to Stacks. We'll see if we can boost that up for you guys.
That would be something there. All right, final game of the night. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. We're 2 in the zone. A lot of people hopping in and out of the live. We appreciate everybody who has been sticking with us. The Clippers and the Suns, final game of the night, TNT, and they're a 13-point favorite. Again, Clippers, a win last night, right, at home. They're also on a back-to-back here, but 13-point favorite here. What do you think? Do you think the Suns kind of blow them out in this spot?
Let me see. So when it comes to national TV games, I kind of like one dog, one fave, right? So you said the first game was who again? First TNT game?
That's Philly and Boston is the first one.
Okay, so I leaned Boston there. So I'm going to lean the dog here. I'm going to lean the Clippers. I know the spot is bad, right? The Clippers are on the second night of back-to-back. They did beat, second best team in the West last night outright. So you would expect them to kind of come back down to earth. Phoenix Suns, you and I talk about this all the time. Best closing team in the NBA. Chris Paul by far is the best point guard in the NBA in terms of getting his team the right shots and closing games. But maybe it's a Clippers first half spot, maybe. Okay. But that's about it. Nothing official from me.
Yeah, I am. I'm with you there. I don't know. I think it could be a Suns first quarter, first half. It's a big number late. When you start putting the scrubs in, you're up like 18 with 2 minutes. Some weird stuff can happen. They catch a couple threes. Amir Coffey hits a couple threes in the corner and then it's over. I don't want to lay the 13. I think Suns first quarter, first half is a good play there. It could also be a game where if you take some of the stars to actually go under, which is a different approach just because of
you think it's going to be a blow up?
Yeah, I think it could be where, the starters don't play those last like 3-4 minutes, which can really, obviously as sharp as these lines are, can make a difference. So maybe, it's risky, right? Taking like a Devin Booker under, or Chris Paul assists under, like those types of kind of mainstream plays that everyone's like over. Maybe that's a good spot to sneak them in tonight. But all right, that concludes the NBA slate. Again, shout out to the best sports book on Twitter, 7 Stack Sports. Just got over 9,000 followers this week. We got to get him to 10,000 soon. He's been doing a great job, great coverage of the Super Bowl as well. We really enjoyed doing the NFL show the last 4 weeks. I know a lot of people loved hopping on for that, so we appreciate everyone with that. But 2 in the Zone will continue to run, right? 3 days a week, AC, as it was before. And
we'll sprinkle in some college basketball. We know conference tournaments are coming up, and the March Madness is coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that stuff too. I know you guys love not only NBA but also college basketball.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys. Thank you again, and keep an eye out for that Grizzlies odds boost tonight or Celtics one. We got one of them coming. We don't know which one, but keep an eye out and get involved. Thank you again, everyone.